Wonderful afternoon here in Westport as Buller line up in just their third ever appearance in a final. Buller against South Canterbury. It is the final of finals weekend. It is the Lochore Cup Final. That is what is on the line today. And the weather is playing its part. There is Steve Chu on the right, the CEO of the New Zealand Rugby Union, and BJ Lochore there on the left. Great to see them here. Great to have a crowd building up in Victoria Square. Richard Turner is beside me in the commentary box. And on the sideline, we are honoured to have the presence of Vinnie Munro. Good afternoon, Vin.
Scotty, yeah, welcome to Westport. Lovely day here. Nice gentle breeze coming from the south and quite warm when you're out of it, but looking forward to a good game.
Perfect, mate. Looking forward to your insights today. Richard Turner, we've had an epic road trip to get here, and the day just gets better. This is wonderful.
Isn't it? Isn't it? It's certainly enjoyable crossing the Arthur's Pass to get to Westport today, and really looking forward to this. The weather's done its part, now it's over to the teams.
So the South Canterbury boys last won a title 11 years ago. It was the Division 3 title as it was known back then. Since then, though, the trophy cabinet has been bare. And they'll turn up today looking for revenge, first of all, over Buller, who beat them on their home deck in round 2 earlier this year. And they'll have some big players involved today as well. 4 members of this Canterbury side in the Heartland 15 that will take on New Zealand Maris 15, and then 2 games in Samoa. Matt Fedu, Nathan Tubb in the front row. Kali Latu, who's already scored 2 tries this season, and he's a big man. Made his debut for this team in 2007. Took him a while to break into the starting lineup, but since 2010, he's certainly been a regular. Fatu Tuamohiloa, also 2 tries this season. Another in that Heartland 15, and he is a big story. Made his debut in 2001 and was a regular for South Canterbury until 2003. Played for North Otago, 50 matches for the Old Golds. Heartland selection in 06, 07, 2010 and 11, and also this year. So big bull running. Tuamohiloa, one to watch today, and some good experience on the South Canterbury bench. So there's 31 players this year, so they've certainly sorted the wheat from the chaff. And a big moment too for the man known as Marmite in these parts. Halfback Andrew Stevens plays his 50th game today. Also a member of the Heartland 15, a 3-time selection in that team. And he's a driller at the Stockton coal mine, is Andrew Stevens. And congratulations to him on his 50th today. The forward pack, well, the story really in Buller is Luke Brownlee. Here is a man who has now played, how many games has he played, Richard Turner? He's a freak show.
144. Scotty, that's a heck of a lot of games.
Consecutive, may we add. 144 consecutive games. Luke Brownlee, a New Zealand record, that is for sure. He has not missed a game since his debut in 1999. Ben Coman, the captain. Also a member of the Heartland team, the brother of Mike Coman, the Hawke's Bay skipper. He's there in 6, so he is certainly one to watch. Stevens, who we've seen run out in his 50th game, he'll look to get this back line away. And have a look too for Marty Banks, who became the first Buller player to reach 100 points in a season this year, sits on 128, and Buller was the last province to have a season centurion, and Marty Banks has solved that problem this season. And the players will line up, and we will have a moment's silence for the late Sir Wilson Winteray.
Legendary former All Blacks captain and much loved New Zealand Rugby Union patron Sir Wilson Winteray passed away last Sunday, aged 77. Sir Wilson played 77 matches for the All Blacks, including 32 tests, and he captained the side 67 times. Today we remember his contribution to rugby and to New Zealand. Please be upstanding for a moment's silence as we remember Sir Wilson Winteray. Thank you. Please remain standing for the national anthem sung by Buller High School pupil Verity Martin.
E at thy feet. In the bonds of love we meet. Hear our voices we entreat. God defend our free land. God Pacific's triple star. From the Lord defend New Zealand.
A moment's silence for the late Sir Wilson Winteray. The national anthem has been sung by local student Verity Martin. The referee for today, South Canterbury side. Of course, some minor controversy for them. They were docked 2 points late in the season for fielding an ineligible player, also fined $5,000. And that is why Buller, although they finished on fewer points, able to host this final today, if you get my drift. So the docking of 2 points costing South Canterbury the chance at a final. However, they're here. And as we have seen this weekend, anything can happen in finals footy. How about that Meads Cup final yesterday up in Ruatoria? But we're underway in Westport. The Lochore Cup Final for 2012. Buller and South Canterbury, and there'll be no love lost in this game. Taken down by the skipper, Ben Coman, as Stevens now from the box.
Thank you.
Some confusion in backfield between the wing and halfback, Tanaru Salmani and Sakopi Maya for South Canterbury. Cleared away now, and strong surge upfield from Craig Moore. Lone player from the Tasman Marcos.
Scotty, the initial mistake. Maya and Salmani getting themselves all mixed up under the high ball. And then the Buller boys, first opportunity, really moved the ball through their hands, untidy at the contact. So first set piece of the game.
Crouch.
Talking green, let's go green!
Touch.
They get the ball back somewhat fortunately. And skip Matt Fedu. There's the big loose head prop with the very large afro. And the ball there still on the South Canterbury side. Meyer feeds again. Short passing game and play. And Kali Latu will set up just short of the halfway line. Meyer again. This time he finds Stefan Voss. Ball slips out through Meyer's legs.
Turn our feet! Let's talk green, let's talk!
Banks clears.
I want you to take a half
Referee
step.
Kane
You need
McBride.
to on this man. You. Thank you.
Early say here to both lineouts.
Plenty of line-out options for Nathan Tubb here on the South Canterbury side. Bryce and Voss, both big men. And it's stolen away. Well played, Craig Moore. Reefton man, and they drive around the edge. Just happy to pick up some tough meters on the South Canterbury forward pack. They know they'll be gobbling them up. And a surge upfield from Coman. And the one guy. Stevens. Short ball. James Foster making good yards. It's up towards the South Canterbury 22. Another penalty advantage, and this time Kane McBride loses patience.
Day the third one. Kane McBride decides that there's no advantage to Buller, so the opportunity for points. Yeah, very slow to roll away. Look, the player on the ground, hands all over. Not only the tackle, good player, but the ball as well.
Clear penalty from
Going, keeping it close, and South Canterbury are using it like a hot potato, so could be an interesting game.
Marty Banks looking to add to his points. Over. These are going to be the shortest goalposts in championship history here at Victoria Square.
You know them well, though, Marty Banks, so the height of the goalpost won't concern him, Scotty. He's off to a good positive start, and a good, use a little bit more width.
So the restart made. Bullock climb high. It's all a bit of a mess at the restart. Coman couldn't hang on. McBride says off the legs. Play continues. And now we finally blow up. So the mistake from Bullock from the restart. South Canterbury with a handy scrum. Around about 10 in from touch.
Prop Timaru tougher.
Crouch.
Lifts himself as 100 kilos, does tougher, but if he's 100 kilos, Scotty, I'll go heat.
It's a very experienced Buller front row. We'll get to that at the next scrum. Good ball as well. And Burt straight through. Finally taken down on the 22-metre line. They stay blind.
Last thing, go.
More yards made. Now the ball runners come in. Tougher this time. Solid resistance on Tougher. Meyer comes out to McKenna. McKenna calling in Tuamohiloa. And Vatu edges. And that's Katombolavu. Meyer. Great ball. And Tuamohiloa again caught for short. Promising stuff this from the South Cantabrians. And then the puck.
Equally. Well, scrambling well on defence.
Steve got the front.
As you say, certainly two distinct approaches to this one, but a little bit of variation on that occasion from South Canterbury when the opportunity was to go straight and poor at line-out time.
Here, 7 got in the way.
Well, he's the man you want to keep an eye on. Close to the line, Scotty. Doesn't mind scoring try. Scored a hat-trick last year against Thames Valley. Did the big fella, Timaru Tougher.
I know you're a little bit caught there. Just make better effort there.
Sumo, they just feeling each other out here at the moment, but
Points, so they don't mind scoring a few, and this blood bin by the looks of it, Vinny.
yes, it is. The
Just
Buller
dust him
front row.
off. Just dust him off. 122 caps for Phil Beveridge. Another one in this Buller lineup. It has legend status.
Yeah, he'll be 39 next week.
16, Johnny Adams is the replacement for the blood bin.
So Eliasa Namua at hooker. Scrum, it's an 8-9 play on the blind. Meyer looking to go around the outside. And he's run himself into touch. Great defence on Meyer.
Oh, it certainly was. Wonderful defence. Tough to defend that situation. Just enough room for the 8-9 to get going. He had a crack to Meyer. He's got a bit of pace. Had a run on the wing against Canterbury earlier this season.
Blue ball, knock on the line out.
Phil Beveridge, I mentioned before, started out as a hooker, but he was behind a certain bloke called Glenn Alley, who was the skipper down here.
That's a tad too far for my liking. You guys
Buller,
are good.
in that year, 1993, had a Ranfurly Shield Challenge.
True West Coast
And
spirit.
there's trouble, Mill, for the Buller boys. Cleaned up by Banks in the end. It was oh so close, though. Meyer thought himself a chance. The ball wasn't forced, but still don't have the feet to the line. Now.
Oh, he's a man to keep an eye on. Look, Meyer again. Just the pressure on his opposite. He managed to scramble again. Buller under pressure.
Gee, great wherewithal from Ange. Low guy. And cleared downfield by the fullback, Saukuru. So they've got a reprieve here, Buller, but South Canterbury applying plenty of pressure. And they're into the field.
Yeah, and shortening this line out, so some ball carriers
Hit
headed
it back. Now Meyer under pressure, slapped down by Lowangai. And so we'll have another scrum, South Canterbury to feed.
set piece untied, a little untidy from both sides, just timing all wrong there for South Canterbury, and then
appearances, but first time he's run out for the opening whistle. So a big moment for him.
Crouch.
Andrew Norton-Taylor, should I say Logan Mundy. Another vastly experienced prop here, the loose head for Buller. 63 caps to his name, but it's all about South Canterbury at the moment. Tua Mahilua, Meyer now, quick ball off the deck and solid running again from Kotombolavu. Snappy ball, McKenna inside this time to Latu. They stay blind, McKenna, and they punch away now, left and right. Well read in defence on Matt Fetu. Fetu will set play 20 out from the line. It's shot out the side. Kicked downfield by Eliasa Namua. And the chase is on. Saukuru coming quickly. Trevathan falls back to his feet, gets the pass away. That is clever. And now a chance for Salmani. And Tanati Salmani, he kicks downfield. This one cleaned up by Nabani Valu. On the bounce.
oh, entertaining. Certainly is both ways at the moment. No one really dominating any area of this game at the moment, and they're very well done. From the fullback for South Canterbury.
Ball. And And this time, it's tapped back. Enough on it from Stefan Voss, and straight through goes his locking partner, Bryce. Luke Bryce almost up to the 10. Myers there, right over the...
And the hooker, Tub, he was coming at pace. Just a little heavy on the chip kick from Meyer. That would have been all go for South Canterbury.
Nathan Tubb, who made his debut against Russia last year, back in January.
Thank you.
We have Phil Beveridge returning from the blood bin.
So Stephen Crackett returns to the bench, and Big Phil.
Very. I know, tiny thing. Yeah. Oh, no.
The good thing here, fellas, is that we've had good scrums up to now, so it's a pleasure to watch.
Crouch.
Scrums have been good, Finn.
Touch.
Both teams playing positively so far. Kane McBride able to watch the game flow, and flow it does, mainly on the South Canterbury side. It's a great shot. Tua Mahiloa. And it needed to be made from Trail Joes. And now a chance for Banks to clear downfield. He'll do just that. And it's bent back in. I thought for all money that was across the touch, but somehow he's got a good shape on it. That has gone too far. And so we come back. The mistake.
Sumo.
Yeah.
Have a look at it here. South Canterbury happy to move the ball and happy to move with Wittros. Got the timing all right, and then they managed, albeit maybe slightly illegally, to recycle the ball.
So Eliasa Namua, who debuted this year for Buller, and it's a good line out. Two Fijians combining. And Salkuru now up from fullback. Scott Neighbours, who has been relatively unemployed so far. Salkuru, just a short ball. Up to James Foster. And Foster is holding on. McBride penalised it.
Lone player from Tasman Union. Here we go into the contact. 2-on-1, and then on the ground, the tackle player doing everything right. The release, the tackle, the release on Tui Mo'oloa.
It was decided that the west coast of New Zealand could possibly be the most beautiful. The ball away now, Sokuru, who has looked to get involved early in this game, up from fullback. He's taking the pressure off Banks on offensive duties. Stevens now. Straight to Nabani Valu, and Nabani Valu on the rack with Banks. And Banks gets hit from behind by Ntombolavu.
Go, please, 9.
Quickly away. South Canterbury looking to play at pace. Tua Mahiloa got the ball away. Two. Chance on the left wing side for Salmani. And then the knock on comes.
Well, clearly keen to play this game at pace. South Canterbury. Reasonably good too. They've moved the ball.
Well, Vinnie Munro, you mentioned earlier in the game, South Canterbury's ploy here, just trying to get some width on this Buller team, and it's working for them. Of course, purely objective today, Vinnie Munro, despite being a pleasant point man. Midfield set up, and Kay McBride says 4. Joe thought he was away.
Just a slight little change because he knew he was a little early. It's a game of millimetres.
Great play.
Yeah. Great play. It was a good move. Yeah. Happy to go up the middle. Pull up, but on occasions I wanted to move the ball. They've looked all right doing it as well, but this is a great attacking opportunity for South Canterbury. 3-2 split, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. So
Looked up.
well, a few South Canterbury supporters have made the trip across as well. Scotty, they happy? This is a lovely move, lovely set-piece move. Said there were acres of space to the right, and that's a 2-on-1. And they only needed the right winger. Edwards good enough to finish.
Well, I tell you what, Liam Edwards made his debut for, and he's already scored 8 tries before that, so 9 tries for the season for Liam Edwards. Takes his own personal points tally.
Sumo, he's a lone player from the Dunedin club and a prolific point scorer down there as well.
Next task, Green, next task.
Kicked him on. It's a penalty semi-final time, 60 metres. And this one hasn't gone 10. Play on, and then we'll come back. South Canterbury off.
Immediately, Buller have given South Canterbury an opportunity again to put some pressure on. Midfield scrum. Again, gone the 3-2 split, 3 to the left.
Crouch! It's Edwards, and Edwards just cut and field, taking down the tackle on the 10-metre line. Buller looking for the steal. Salkura getting himself involved again, this time on defence. Kick made by Andrew Norton-Taylor. He chases. Trevathan, clever, elusive, and well batted on by Tuamahi-Loa. McKenna, and they try to shift, but again it's Jose on a good tackle. Reed. Stephen Burt. 5 in from touch, just short of the 10. Meyer. Short pull this time to Tarb, and Tarb gets put back by Coman. McKenna. Great kick, McKenna. Edwards is there. The timing's perfect. Edwards now on the chip and chase. Liam Edwards. Oh, you beauty! Have some. Of that.
Cross kick was on. There he is out wide, top of your picture. Perfect timing, perfect placement. And then he knew the opportunity was back in. The old centering kick, stayed determined, and he always had the pasted Liam Edwards. And they've struck 2 in a row for South Canterbury.
Fellas, that you wouldn't see a better try at this level of...
Take from the restart from... Buller that gave South Canterbury immediately possession back on halfway, and it certainly cost them in the most expensive way. Just a couple minutes later, they're heading back to halfway for a restart. Buller. And clearly, the message will be
on the restart, although his forwards had no chance of getting there. Meyer happy to get the ball out now, and again they punch in midfield through Kelly Latu. And Latu sets in McKenna and Meyer have a good relationship going on here, on the field that is. I don't know what it's like off the field. Selection, and they'll be playing New Zealand Marist in Auckland on November 3rd. So if you're in the neighbourhood, drop in and see the boys go to work. Craig Moore with the head up, and they just need to make some impact on the South Canterbury defensive line. They've given away 2 penalties offensively, Buller. Can't afford any more. Banks. They won't go wide. He goes through the middle, and the bounce is awkward, but they had the penalty, and they'll come back and use it.
Well, what's the mindset for Buller here? And it is the 3 points. On the 22 is the kick, so there's a good opportunity for points.
Noticeable thing in the last 5 minutes, fellas, is that the one-off runners by Buller are starting to run across the paddock a wee bit compared to the
town. Scotty, the balloons out on the streets, the signs are up, and the fans have turned out.
The Irish would be impressed, and all good for Marty Banks. So they close the gap, but it's still South Canterbury in control on the scoreboard. 2 tries to 0. 14-6 the score.
Well, Buller, though, mature approach to this, taking the points when they come.
And carried on by Foster. Lawankai sets play, and Andrew Stevens. So a good setup from the restart this time. The chase is on, not held, now cleaned up. South Canterbury will have ball to play with again. Meyer away to McKenna. McKenna looks for the kick. Edwards will chase this, and that loping.
26 minutes. Scotty and 2-1 on the possession stats. They're up, South Canterbury, and that's the reason why. Looks up, sees space, and executes perfectly.
Tap back by Foster. Messy though. And having to clean up as the veteran Brown.
It's a great story because it gets even better because he broke the record of Tom Stewart. Right, so there hasn't been Tom Stewart or Luke Brownlee not in a Buller side since 1986.
So no Buller side has been without a Stewart or a Brown. since 1986. Is that what you're telling me?
That's exactly what I'm telling you, Scotty. That's some kind of stat.
I must say, when he gets it, he looks dangerous every time, so let's watch him.
Thank you, Steve.
Well, when you've got someone who scores tries like that, bloke, why wouldn't you keep going to him, Vinny? Happy with their variation to South.
How's he not in the heartland? So 10 tries for the season. This is first penalty kick of the day.
And Liam Edwards. South Canterbury.
Sumba, I just wonder whether lone players are eligible for that Heartland 15.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. So, shit.
Well, Matt Fetu wants to debate the mark with referee Kane McBride. Only one person going to win that.
6, 4, 2,
Yes, but he can cast a shadow with his head. And McBride can't do that. Stephen Voss takes it. Line outside. Meyer now from the box. And a chance for Buller just to open up here. Salkuru has the ball. Looks to get on the outside, then ducks back in. Breaks 2 tackles, breaks 3. Wide on this Buller side. Brownlee. Hit up number 82,100 from Luke Brownlee in his career, and it ends in a penalty against South Canterbury.
Tough up. It's the man that made the mistake, Scotty. Oh. Here, tough up. It's a big kick for Marty Banks.
There's a wee bit of difference out there, fellas, with the communication. South Canterbury are talking a lot, and when you see it on defence, they're coming up in a nice straight line and making it difficult for Buller to break through. Buller boys are a bit quiet, so they need to talk about that.
It's all about talking. Inch by inch, get back into this game.
Oh, Scotty, he was back in his own half before that. Got that ball across the post. There he is, the man the cup's named after, Sir Brian Lochore.
That's a great take from the restart by Craig Moore, and a solid run to back it up. Eliasa Naamua talking to a few of the locals here. They reckon it out at breakdown time. Banks try to keep this a little low. And it bounces up. And they'll attack again. It's Trevathan. This time to the air, and it's a floater too. One guy with a big fakie in his 50th game for the Union. Shorter this time, Luangai. Out to Namur, and Namur is tied up. Gets the ball back in field to Foster. Promising play for Buller. Banks now up over the halfway line. Moore. And Moore crawling up, commando style. Almost to the 10. Stevens whips it across to Banks.
Because defensively, he'd done a great job and dropped back into the fullback's position to cover. And he'd got himself over there, read it nicely, and then the ball just bounced unkindly for him. I guess, as you say, some reward here finally for the Buller side, and there it is, the big shiny Lochore Cup.
Confirmation too on that ruling from Jason Reed, who's tweeted through lone players not eligible for Heartland selection, so that is why Edwards not considered. Jose, a good powerful run inside the South Canterbury red zone now. Buller, and they've been walked all over at the breakdown, but Kay McBride says falling over. Vinnie Munro, talk us through it.
Yeah, you've got to stay on your feet at that phase of the game, and come over and slowed the ball down for Buller before the old penalty.
Here you see them had a sniff of it. The counter ruck, and there's the player leaving his feet.
Vin, just talking about the intricacies in that department.
Correct. So when he hits the ground, he's got to roll one of three ways, as long as he doesn't roll into the opposition, and probably slowed their ball down there, so liable for penalty.
Every game needs a Vinnie. This is great.
Liability, that's the key word there.
It's like having a translator. Banks, no drama. 17 plays 12, and all of a sudden
territory, got the edge in possession, but Buller kept themselves in the game, and that's the key.
So the knock-on made by Buller, and advantage now applying for South Canterbury, who'll be keen to get themselves some more points. McKenna with a short ball this time. Kay McBride says offside. Buller.
Oh, the Hightower's going at it.
There were two players, I don't have the numbers.
And Potter, we halfback just for normal things.
Like forwards,
They're all white.
clock's about right.
What do South Canterbury players do when they retire, Vinny?
Some leave, and others will be milking cows by the look of the change of the landscape down there.
Absolutely. Well, he's a former Heartland player. Played in 2008 for the Heartland 15, for the Divisional 15 way back in 2003. Debuted in 1998, Eric Smith. And he and Fatu Kuamohilua are the only survivors of the last South Canterbury title, as Edwards adds 3 more to the cause. 20 points up for South Canterbury, 12 for Buller.
Good trading, exchange of penalties from both sides here.
That's some haul in the first half of a game of footy, especially a final. Messi again at the restart, one area that neither side has really been in control of in the game so far. Round about 2.5 to the break here at Victoria Square. And Lawankai. Gets the ball back in field. Salkuru, who has looked composed at the back. Buller. Gets the ball to one guy. He gets it away. Foster. One out. The back from Foster to Norton Taylor. That kick is scooped up by Meyer, and he returns fire over the grandstand.
Well, Vinny, you mentioned a few minutes ago how it was a South Canterbury team doing all the talking out there, and that's the thing that's really impressed me, their organisation. Good organisation comes about through good communication. There's always players falling back in defensive positions.
Tries to get a dance on. Strong running from Trail Jose. And he finally gets dragged down just short of the 22. They come right over the top. Stevens gets flattened. Stefan Voss tried to squash him. Here's Norton Taylor. Norton Taylor! What a try! Straight through the middle of South Canterbury's defence.
And they were caught napping on that occasion. The penalty came. They see the build up here. Josh has been good. And then there's the penalty. And Marty Banks decides, oh, have a go, tap and go. And they were just still reorganising. The ball got to Andrew Norton Taylor. And he did the rest. Impressive and vital for Buller because, as I said, South Canterbury being the better of the two sides in the first half. But
ball game. At one stage, South Canterbury had a 14 points to 3 lead, but Buller just clawed their way back into it. And they have managed to get 19 on the board themselves. 20-19 half-time as Matt Fedu and Kane McBride go through some of the finer details of the first half. And what a good game. Liam Edwards with all the points for... Great scenes in Westport. Victoria Square, the venue for the Lochore Cup Final for 2012. It is Buller hosting South Canterbury, and it is South Canterbury in front, but only just 20 points to 19. 2 tries to Liam Edwards, 2 conversions to Liam Edwards, 2 penalties to Liam Edwards. That's right, he scored all the points. Could have been a quicker way to say that. Buller, Norton Taylor with the 1 try late. When they did go wide, they went wide to Edwards, and when Edwards got the ball, they couldn't stop him. First try, easy, ran it all the way behind the post too and converted there. Good stuff.
yeah, it certainly was. From the set piece, created the 2-on-1 situation out wide, and Edwards, geez.
And Edwards then some individual brilliance. It had been set up and back play by some South Canterbury attack, but this was just pure individual class.
Yeah, it certainly was. The opportunity was given to them really on a plate from Buller, who made an error from the restart, gave South Canterbury possession of the ball, and Edwards again, 2 in a row very quickly.
Penalty trouble again for South Canterbury. They'd given away 5 in the first half, all in their danger zone, and all were taken advantage of. This time too easy for Norton Taylor, who just slipped. Was there something behind there? What was he looking for? Was there an actual can of space behind the pad?
That's a unique celebration. I'll give him that one. But here for me, Scotty, we always go looking for a story in the statistics, and up the top, South Canterbury dominant territory, dominant possession, but for me, first 40 minutes, but they've conceded 5 penalties, and as you said, all in the wrong part of the field, because Buller, every one of those penalties have scored points from. Four penalties and 1 try. 6 those for me. They were the better side in 40 minutes. They can continue for the second 40 opportunity there, but Buller still in touch.
Bring your own couch day at Victoria Square. That looks comfy. Very comfortable. And a good crowd too. There's not much by way of fences around Victoria Square, so if you didn't want to pay the entrance fee, you could always just stand outside the fence and watch for free anyway. So if you're in Westport, what are you doing sitting at home? Get down here and join the festivities. We'll take a short break. When we come back, the second half, as we wrap up the Lochore Cup. Good times in Westport, the Lochore Cup Final.
So Nathan, manager of the Buller team, how did you rate the first half?
We did okay, I think. There's a little bit of nerves, obviously, early on from our guys. Probably looking to play it a little more expensively. Our kicker's been reliable all year. He's got most points for a season, most conversions, most penalties now. So if we get a chance, he'll line one up and he'll probably put it over, or we hope he will.
All the best for the second half.
Thanks very much.
Thanks to Vinny, thanks to Nathan. It is Tua Mahiloa with another head up. Maya now has the ball and cleared away for McKenna. McKenna clears the field. And Lawangai is back for Bull. Salkoru now, trouble for McKenna. And he did well. Actually, now pressure at the breakdown coming in from the home side. And they've got the turnover. Counter-attack time for Buller. Nabani Vala. Straight through the gap, Nabani Vala will score!
Professional rugby player. That's brilliant. So that's what they were looking for. We saw the try in the first half.
And with it now, next time South Canterbury going to go.
Yeah, in the sock, Sumo. Put it in the sock. Put it in the sock. But side, that is a wonderful try from Penny Nabani-Valu.
Fellas, that all started with a turnover on the right side here. And quick ball out for the try under the sticks.
$50 under the pad as well.
Yeah, South Canterbury have had issues today. And again, their communication was poor, led to the turnover that Vinny alluded to. Then Nabani-Valu saw the players, they were in an offside position, so they're under advantage, but he saw the mismatch. It was Nabani-Valu, the back against 5. He was good, and there's the $50. Well done.
I've seen it all. Talkuru now downfield. Maybe I haven't seen it all. It's hard to say.
Well done.
Trevathan clears downfield. 32. And he returns fire. This one drifts over.
Nice, let's go, Green, next turn. Next task, get him up, get him up.
Here's Nabani-Valu again.
Yeah, looked out wide and then just knew The opportunity was in close.
The one guy from the line out for Buller. Now turned over, South Canterbury through McKenna, and McKenna strong, Banks just got enough of his jersey to solidly. Stephen Burt, no drama with Cook. Brownlee taken down on the halfway line. Stevens had a runner coming around, it was Beveridge. And now cleared downfield, no surprises here. Buller want to play this game in South Canterbury's half. This one in goal. And we'll come back for the 22 dropout. Oh, smashed. Ben Coman got hammered by Fatu Tuamohiloa. And he'll remind him of that when they meet for the 15.
He did it well, though. Ben Coman, the ball coming.
Brother Mike Coman will be watching. Skipper the Magpies this year. Hope you're doing well, Moo. The throw is made. Tubbs is off the field. Oh, big run by Latu. Made some good meters, but then the ball was played. Breakdown penalty. South Canterbury, Vinnie Munro, they must be very concerned.
Yes, Sumo, I can sense a talking to coming short. I think it might be the next one after, especially that's probably 6 now.
Benjamin, and you're right, Vinny. I think for Kane McBride to have the word to South Canterbury, so that'll put pressure on them at the breakdown. Buller walks slowly to the line out. A couple of big boys parked in the midfield too.
Barney Varlo, he's already got one. He to Jose, and Jose's pass goes forward. They have got some mojo running at the moment, the Buller boys.
Oh, haven't they? Mojo and momentum. A nice move, the big man.
Well, a quiet first half by Penny Nabani Valu, but certainly in the second, he's been full of running. Started every game in the last 3 seasons as Penny.
Touch. Sit.
Big scrum. And again, it's the veteran, Tomohiloa, who gets the job done with it. Floats away, and they play just on the South Canterbury side of halfway. Coman has the ball ripped away from him. Turnover now, McKenna. McKenna has taken in a good shot. Nabani Valu again involved.
There's a one-man band so far in the second half. Nabani Valu doing it all on attack. Have a look at this.
The coach said at half-time, but it certainly had an impression with the team out here now.
Do you know what's happened at half-time? It is their trainer, Pete Casey, a former professional wrestler. He was. Fought the Bushwhackers. He fought the Bushwhackers.
The Bushwhackers.
His ring name was Tiger Casey. He fought on the mat. Those of you of a certain generation out there will know on the mat. But he lost to the Bushwhackers, then known as Sweet William and Brute Miller.
Samoan Joe was my favourite, clearly.
Crouch.
You couldn't make that up. He trains these guys.
King Curtis
Of his
contributing,
own.
good contribution.
Bad time to get cramped, mate. Same, Ben. Same as you guys down the line there, right?
Earl Kingy, our cameraman, he's come up with Rick Martell.
Rick Martell, that's another beauty. Here's a pretty boy, though. Here's a pretty boy, Sumo.
Touch.
And they have had their chance wide, South Canterbury, but Buller have woken up. And they're really getting across in defence, Vin Munro.
Let's look, they're using width again, and but certainly a bigger defensive effort in the second half and is shutting them down. So it'll be interesting what comes out of this.
breakaway, Craig Moore. And he can only make his way into touch, so that comes to nothing.
South Canterbury still keen to play this game at pace.
The 52nd minute of the match. Buller in front by still going of their own here. Buller now getting back in defence, but they have momentum. Eric Smith has the ball at the back. Cleared away now, McKenna calling in runners to a Mohiloa by Jose and kicked through by Buller. Advantage applying for the knock-on and will scrum down, reading it too easily.
Yes, Canterbury.
Certainly, Pod, and I must say it's not cold down here. The gentle breeze is very refreshing.
Seen that on a couple of occasions now. Centre Joss just getting his timing spot on defensively.
Of the way. Namua happy to the ball up. This one's stripped away, so Coleman with the spill. Andrews went back for it, offside at the breakdown.
In the second half, for me, South Canterbury the better side through the first 40. Not reflecting that dominance on the scoreboard, with Buller just staying in touch, and then a try just before half-time. And as you say, the tunnel, they've had a chat, and it's been a very, very good one because they've come out, they're almost a different side. Buller.
The thing about this kicker, fellas, is if South Canterbury give a penalty in their half, he's going to...
This year, and last province out of New Zealand's 26 to have a player score. No with the distance, just with the accuracy, and we'll come back. Hexton, Vinnie Munro.
He actually hit it good, and I thought the wind might brought that back, but lucky he's not a Welshman in Westpac Stadium.
Don't mention the Rugby World Cup. Mbani Valu, the danger man, is standing well wide. They stay with the skipper, Benny Coleman. Mentioned too to Bevan Titai, who was captain of the side at the start of the season, but due to injury, not able to line up in the final today. Here go, and Burt won't give it. On with the job quickly, but now the line formed, and Jose, you could see what he was trying to do.
Again, South Canterbury, well, they're keen to get the ball wide, and he's their man. He's the bloke that they want to get back into this game. Liam Edwards scored all the points for South Canterbury in the first half. A little Josh.
Trevathan has this covered, and he'll let it drift across the touchline. And good work too from Neighbours to be up to shut down the short throw.
Starting to run the field position.
They have control for now, but as we saw in Ruatoria yesterday, in the famous word of Yogi Berra, it ain't over till it's over. Moore on a miracle ball from Lawangai has scored again.
Someone put some more money under the post, because that deserves a $50 sumo. Spectacular from the overthrow from South Canterbury. He's been good, Lawangai. This has 3 men in contact. The right arm offload. Namua spectacular.
He has completely misjudged that dive. He's almost face-planted himself. Solid work from Lawangai out the back, and there is Namua, who just got the wobbles at the top of the arc there.
You right to kick with him there?
But had to put the ball down. He's chuffed.
Run onto the hooker to score. It's all Buller.
He's getting creeping on the sideline.
Some trouble in back play. Man down. Looks like Andrew Stevens. But Banks is lining up here. 31 plays 20 now. And a conversion would just make that job a little bit tougher for the South Cantabs to come back in. Banks And it holds up on the breeze, so no go for Banks. He's dropped 2. Elias Namur in his first season with Buller will remember today.
It's interesting.
Time by Foster, so South Canterbury will get the scrum feed, and they simply some possession. They're being beasted in the second half.
Yep, possession, but they need to maintain it now, Scotty. Build some confidence back up. They've improved that as well. South Canterbury, they need to maintain possession now.
Meyer, his favourite.
Number 7. Absolutely, your number 6 sealed that off.
Number 7, Eric Smith, is the man singled out by referee Pride. And here's Banks again, seen acres of space out wide to the right. And have a look at that, and they're back in. Wonderful field position on the ball then. Banks looked up and we said, no, so I'll have 60 metres this time.
Got a sub here. We've got the halfback for Buller coming off, being replaced by...
It's a good line-out win. And Nambani Valu, they're awake to him on this occasion. They shut him down just inside their 22. Greg finds Salkuru, and he dances. Beveridge ran into the tackle and stopped dead. Greg again. Banks now looked up, saw South Canterbury rushing up in midfield. Now it's Logan Mundy. Happy to plug the blind side. South Canterbury have numbers there. Greg will want this ball. Out now. Banks is deep. Sets for the drop kick. And Marty Banks is away. He knew it straight away, and they'll for the penalty, so he'll get another crack.
He's gone for a shot here to take that, try and get that margin a bit more, and then make South Canterbury have to score 3 times to hit the lead.
Well, they've been consistent in this day, haven't they, Vinny, when the points or the opportunity to gather points have been given. They've tried to take advantage of it. It's missed a couple of late as Banks. As South Canterbury again to the bench, Vinny.
Indeed.
Well, Scotty Norton, another veteran of this South Canterbury team, Vin, debuted in 1998. Captain South Canterbury in 2011. 131 points in the season last year to lead all scorers. Well, you did spend 6 years in sixth form, Vinny, so there's every chance. Marty Banks is away on this occasion, so the kicking boot's gone a bit cold for Banks. Back to his feet, Stephen Voss. Foster, and they're up to meet him quickly. So big contact still defensively from South Canterbury. Salkuru, and now Namua, who has been buoyed by his try-scoring deeds, decides that he'll just hang out in midfield for the rest of the game. First time in this game, he's penalised for that. So South Canterbury on that occasion getting their technique right. And they really need to be the next team to score. 11 points in arrears at the moment.
Oh, no doubt about that, Scotty. Bought themselves some good yardage here. Need to get the...
Logan Mundy. And also Raragaloa going on for the number 8, Luakwai.
Well, that's a big replacement. The one guy's been impressive for me. Big Api Wakumolea. Brings a bit of size, brings a bit of athleticism to this Buller side.
Line-out's good. That pass is a shambles from Scotty Norton. And here's a chance for Neighbours. Scotty Norton has watched Jimmy Cowan's highlight tape against North Harbour on that one. And looks like a hand of a knock-on, so they might... And they'll set up now. South Canterbury needing points in this game to stay alive, to keep their chance at the Lochore Cup Trevathan. Edwards has been shut out in the second half. Great offload on that occasion from Voss, and Andrews with a step.
Getting some forward momentum on this occasion. South Canterbury. There's a lovely little offload from Voss, and the replacement Andrews into his work quickly.
The line out has been thrown. Buller will have this ball, but they'll have to work for it. And kick.
Well, he can kick, and it's such a advantage to his Buller side. South Canterbury work hard, work very hard, and then their forwards get off the ground, turn around and have backwards 40 or 50 metres.
Got Strawn on for Smith for South Canterbury.
See, line out time.
Let's not jump before the ball comes in.
So the benches are being cleared here. The goods. And South Canterbury's attacking weapons have been unable to get any possession whatsoever. Andrews with the throw, and it's a good one. Voss. Tuamahilua gets the ball from McKenna. And the tables here, Buller. Marty Banks do a couple. He has support left and right. The kick ahead, he'll chase this. And it's cleaned up. South Canterbury now trying to work their way out of their own goal line. And Liam Edwards saves the day for South Canterbury. He's doing it all at both ends of the field.
He is. An opportunity, heartbreak from Chase. It's always going to be a tall order to beat Edwards. They're still hot on attack.
They get the drive working, close to the line this time. David Gregg reaches in. Here's Marty Banks, tries to bring Joe second, that the defensive line had evaporated on him. Api, Ratungalea. Namua. Already won today for the hooker, and will scrum down.
They needed the break in play here, did Buller, because they were operating with just 14 players, one of their best in the second 40. Penina Balivalu down and back play, just making his way back into position now. It doesn't look at 100%.
Phil Beveridge, the tight head prop's got blood again, so he's coming to get fixed.
Don't get them for going off their feet. The problem is your man's going there, and they're going to keep the pen out.
Stephen Crackett in 16 goes on to in the blood bin.
Is that Beveridge bleeding again, Vin?
Yes, the nose.
Greg feeds. You can see the try line. The scrum goes to work. And it's been turned, and South Canterbury will get the feed.
Oh, good pressure, South Canterbury. Just needed a good base here. Farr couldn't get his hands on the ball. And South Canterbury the opportunity to clear.
Touch. Sit.
Well, that's all it is at this stage, an opportunity. Buller apply the pressure. Taken away by Tuamahilua. Now they get a chance to get on the outside of Joes, and they do just that. Trevathan needs to find goes himself. In fact, it's Stephen Burt. Then the offload, and it's picked up by Ratungalea. South Canterbury cannot find the last man in the chain. This time they get Kane McBride's assistance.
Bunny Valo, and he's struggling big time. Here's the break, under pressure from their own goal line, pretty much, and it's a big break, and look at him, he's looking not there, looking right again, and was a support player on the inside. Late coming, he threw the pass anyway, did Burt, and it all came to this foot.
Edwards, and this looks good. Liam Edwards with that kick has now equalled the record set by David Holwell in 1997, equalled by Tom Taylor last night in Canterbury. 23 points in a final.
The tight head prop Tafa has been replaced by 17 Taliega.
Taliega on the field. Tafa's been strong. Some way to go to catch up to Fedu's hairdo, though. Andrews gets the ball, gets Coman, comes away from that, and the Ginger Ninja up just outside the 22. McKenna. Latu. Oh, Cully Latu. With a scything run through midfield, links up, out wide, now in field, Trevathan back to Latu, and that's forward.
Oh, once again, it's spectacular for about 75 metres for South Canterbury, and at the...
Well, a cover defender coming across, it would have been touch and go if he caught it.
Little things in finals. Oft talked about, you've got to take your opportunities when they present themselves, when you create them, and failure to do so can cost you a game. South Canterbury.
When they were presented in the first four, have stayed in the game, but then the turnaround, it's been a completely different story.
Looking at Nambani Valu's try.
Well,
in fact, it's Jose's work too.
Yeah, he's been impressive today.
And he was just straight through on that occasion. And he found a fitty too, under the pad.
Just understand the picture of seats. Another is touch.
Here is Penny.
Touch.
Looking on, and a big day's work for him. It's not over though. 8 points in the game. Here goes Latu. Out of the boot, Kelly Latu. And finally taken short of the line. South Canterbury. They get the penalty. Buller now getting themselves into some trouble at the breakdown. And this is a major decision to be made now.
Yeah, well, Kelly Latu's decided that he's going to get his team back into this one single-handed. From the base of the scrum, the set piece, he's made about 30 quick metres. The decision's been made. Going to stay at set piece, and why wouldn't you? Some great dominance in that area for South Canterbury. And again, there's a real opportunity for Latu.
Latu a flip back. Norton it up to Tuamahiloa. So the Stars are coming out to play now for South Canterbury. Picked up by the replacement prop Taliega. Big tackle, Greg there. They carry on. Just short of the Buller goal line here, and you'll need to strap yourself in. Meyer! Taken down, fall short of the line. Johnny Andrews is in there. Norton wants the ball, wants a ball run up, and they hammer away, and they hammer away. Desperation defence from the home side. South Canterbury get a scrum. We'll repeat it all.
Well, possession of the ball. It's the difference here for South Canterbury. Maintain possession through a number of phases, which has allowed them to build up.
Games for Big Phil. 122 Buller in total. And he will not sit this one out. Norton to feet. Back again, it's Latu, well read by Greg. Norton had the ball again. Tuamahiloa now. He just to take on the line. It stands firm for now. Penalty, but a scrum instead. 4.5 minutes remaining in the match. Buller are holding on.
And Banks knew exactly where the danger was. Great line on defence. And they're trying to bring this one to a halt. Because I think it's our man Nambani Valu.
Interesting thing. The same incident happened last night in Christchurch, didn't it, fellas?
Don't remind Cantabrians of that. Nambani Valu.
Well, he's
Timaru local who's made it across.
Yes. Nambani Valu.
Well, Vinny, we may as well discuss, because last night Taurusa Vainu penalised, yellow carded for what looked like, well, was called a deliberate knockdown. We thought it may have been an
The intention of the player, so if he intentionally forward or bats it forward, then yeah, you've got to go down the line of a penalty, maybe penalty try.
4 minutes remaining. South Canterbury need to get a try. They need to get it now. Latu away to Norton. Here's McKenna. McKenna! But the defender dropped the ball.
Guess who, Sumo? Numbalivalu was down on his haunches not that long ago, and he's come back to make a try-saving tackle defensively for his Buller side.
Box, please.
3.5. Kotombalavu took the first away. Now a penalty advantage applying for South Canterbury. Norton gets it away. Tuamahiloa now trying to get wide on this Buller defence. Burt is there. And Burt put down. South Canterbury pile in. They'll come back for the up close to the line. Still there. Still time. 2.5 in the Lochore Cup Final. South Canterbury pouring into this. Here's a chance. Some tackle from Norton Taylor.
Pretty bad. Righto.
Oh, wasn't it? This is a massive defensive effort from Buller. There he is, Norton Taylor. And Edwards, who does know how to score tries. Bit of assist from his fullback partners, Saukuru. They've held him up. They are in good position. Referee McBride in good position.
There was excellent work between the referee and the AR there. And the AR gave the advice where the ball had been held up the whole time. So scrum 5.
Liam Edwards could have had the point scoring record all to himself with a try on that occasion.
Now, we held up and play again as for our mate Numbalivalu. And finally, I think they've convinced him of a spell, because he's done everything for them in the second 40.
And he's been replaced by 22, Sam Maris.
Here is Tuamahiloa close to the line. And he's dragged down again. Good luck figuring this out. They try to work around the edge, but Buller up to the task defensively. Andrews shut down. And now Kay McBride pulls another scrum. 1.5 minutes remaining. You'd want to pack this down quick.
Yeah, no doubt about that. They need to pretty much score direct from this. Times left is referee McBride. But clock ticking all the same for South Canterbury.
Crouch. Touch. Sit.
Off the back. Chance to score. Latu gets the try.
Impressive in the second 40. The pick off the base wasn't easy. The quick conversion is no good.
They will have time. The scoreline now, 31-28. We can go to extra time. South Canterbury need to... 30 seconds, says Kane McBride. 30 seconds to make a bit of history, South Canterbury. 30 seconds to hold on. Buller. Up they go, knocked on by Buller. Time.
No, scrum.
And the scrum will form.
Quentin Cooper comes on for South Canterbury for the number 8, Latu.
Yeah, Latu didn't make his way back. Field of play from scoring the try, still hunched down about 2 metres from where he scored it, Vinny. So they got back to a full complement.
The scrum's good. Kombolavu at the back. McKenna. They've got 14 men, and it's number 14 Edwards inside ball. It's plucked away by Neighbours. Buller now held up. They need to get this ball into touch. They do just that. And Canterbury blows it up. Buller have won themselves a title. They are Lochore Cup champions, and they're pumped up.
Oh, and so 2012 Lochore Cup champions. A disappointment for South Canterbury. The locals are happy. What a wonderful occasion it's been, just the 3 points. For the South Canterbury fans and players at might well has been plenty more.
That's how you do it, Westport. Head down to the field. Ben Coleman standing by with Vinnie.
Well, Ben, congratulations on the Lochore Cup final. How good is that for you?
Oh, mate, this is huge for us. You know, words can't describe it really. For the province to play out here in front of a home crowd today, it's something pretty special. You know, pretty tough all the way through, and to come out with a right, we're wrapped.
A really interesting game of two halves for you. You were certainly under the pump in the first half, but came out in the second half and really gave it to them early on.
Yeah, that first 20 minutes, I mean, I think we're probably a little bit shell-shocked. You know, I think probably would be lying if we said we weren't nervous. Once we got into the game after that first 20 minutes or so, we managed to get a few things together and realised, you know, he's a real asset. So.
And how's the season been for the Buller team? I know this is the final, but has it been a tough competition, or how you found it?
Yeah, every game's been tough. I mean, that whole Heartland comp, you know, right from that first round, it's been a pretty difficult one, and we actually had to that disappointment of missing out on the Meads Cup semis, so to come away and get the Lahore we're at.
Well, Ben, all the best and congratulations.
Hey, thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.
Ben Coleman, a happy man when he's not playing footy. His family's construction here in Westport. It is Buller, the home side, come out on top, 31 points to 28. Three tries apiece. Norton Taylor, Mbani Valu and Namua for Buller. Edwards with a double. Latu getting a late one for the South Cantabrians. Edwards for T and Banks from the T for Buller. They are your scores and the scorers.
Climax to our national provincial and it couldn't have ended better for Buller fans today. But firstly, a very, very warm round of applause for both teams, South Canterbury, and every two-horse competition. Got to be a loser, unfortunately, for South Canterbury players and fans. It was them today. And Buller, a massive round of applause for your home team. You turned out and supported them, and they did the job. Lochore Cup named after Sir Brian. To his right, Steve Chu, CEO of New Zealand Rugby Union, and we also have Eric Westergaard, Chairman of the Buller Rugby Union, and Bruce Love, President of South Canterbury Rugby Football Union. I'd like to come up and say a few words, please. Sorry, Matt Fetu, sorry Matt, if you'd like to come up and say a few words.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate Bull on their win today. You guys are a well-structured team, and you showed out there what you can do. You have the ball in your hands. The old boys, keep your heads up. And I also thank Buller for a great year, great day, and it was a great game of footy. Also like to thank our supporters that came up with us. We came up short, but we have a great session this year, and well done to all boys. Thank you.
Great numbers today, and I won't keep you waiting any longer. This time, Ben Coman, captain of the Buller side, the success. Congratulations on a wonderful season. Culminated in your efforts today. An opportunity.
I'd like to call for the original captain, Bevan T-Tai, who we lost unfortunately in the you, mate. Next, I'd like to make a big thanks and a huge look at all the people around here. It's just massive to have such a home crowd, and thank you very much for showing up today. And I know this means a lot to you, as it does to our boys for hanging in there. We managed to get our game going after that first 20 minutes. And we managed to scrape away with a win, so huge effort. We knew it was going to take that 80 minutes, so well done. Thank you. I'd like to also make a big thanks to our sponsors throughout the year. There's too many to list. They know who they are. It's been huge, this competition. We couldn't field a team without it. For the way you control the game. It's a free-flowing game, and I thought you refereed it really well, so thanks again. And just finally, I'd like to make a huge shout out to our coaches. Craig managed to stick in there. We had the initial disappointment of missing out on the Meads Cup, but we all bought in 3 weeks ago that this is the one we wanted, and we knew we had to put everything in and keep putting that work in, so all credit to everybody. Thank you very much.
Cheers, thanks Ben. Now, ladies and gentlemen, your opportunity to congratulate your successful Buller side one by one. I'd like to call upon now Logan Monday, if you could make your way to the stage. Lock Craig Moore. James Foster. You get a medal too. First five, Marty Banks. Isai Langawe. Trail Jose. Is it? Fullback William Salkuru. And the reserves who all played their part today, 16, Stephen Crackett. Matt Parata. Api Ratugolea. David Grigg. And last but not least, Sam Maris. Coach Craig Neal. Manager Nathan Thompson. Physio Robin Abbey. And the trainer. Thank you. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, this is what it's all about. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That brings the curtain down what has been a wonderful domestic season in 2012. Enjoy your summer, and we all look forward to seeing you again in 2013. Congratulations, Buller.
Outstanding today. Upstairs in our commentary tower, Andy Duncan, one of the local boys and a stalwart of Buller rugby. And the first time ever Buller has taken a final in provincial championship rugby. It's going to be a big night at the Black and White.
It certainly will be, Sumo. What an outstanding finish to what was a pretty remarkable game. And this town's, well, it's been a lot for the last few days, and it's certainly going to be a lot tonight.
Mate, just talk to me about some of the personalities in this team. We talked about Phil Beveridge, the big man up front, 111 games for Buller. Luke Brownlee, 144 consecutive games for Buller. I mean, the man is a freak, and these are the legends this team is building on.
Totally agree, Simo. Those guys are the backbone of the side, and they have been for a number of years. The likes of Luke and Phil, as you say, you know, these boys deserve every moment of successes they're going to enjoy tonight.
Talk to me about Andrew Stevens. He played his 50th today. I understand you blokes call him Marmite round here, but an outstanding achievement for him and for Ben Coleman. Both of those players make Heartland 15.
Yeah, and thoroughly deserving too. Marmite Stevens, he's been a real asset to the side over the last few years, and his experience is phenomenal. It's
give us a picture of how popular it is and how many clubs are involved, and how strong you sense the game is here, and what this will do for the local.
Yeah, I mean, we're the smallest union in New Zealand, and we've got 5 club teams, and it's gone from strength to strength in the last 3 years. And that's probably why we've had so much success ourselves. Hopefully we can continue to develop and continue to have success like we have today.
Now, I must admit something, because you've just dropped off 2 crayfish up to the commentary box. One of them is probably the most, it's the biggest crayfish I've ever seen in my life. Is that just regular for you every weekend out there?
Just another day at the office, Sumo, and of course the white bait's going to be coming very shortly.
That is brilliant, mate. Right, let's head down to the field for some post-match reaction, and we'll start with Andrew Stevens.
Well, Andrew, on a personal note, a milestone 50th game, and what a way to celebrate it, winning the Heartland Lochore Cup Championship.
Oh, definitely, Pod. Yeah, no, 50 games, what more could I ask for with the win, so pretty stoked, the boys.
Inside in the second 40.
Yeah, mate, we got a bit of a rack up at the half-time break, but we hung in there, we stuck with them, we scored a few penalties, and we came out with a few points, which, the boys were pleasing, but we led on a couple of easy tries at the start, but, it's how good the South Canterbury team are, they just can tear you apart at times, but yeah, we hung in there, so it's good. Yeah,
great, mate, and you've got a lot of experience, some key players in your side. How important when we come to the finals footy and you were behind under a little bit of pressure, and how important is that you can go back to that experience bank and just call on that?
Oh, that's pretty good. That's important. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, Luke Brownlee and Phil Beveridge, they got over 100. It
was important because the crowd turned out in their masses today.
Oh, it was, a great crowd. Lucky the weather came out fine for us, so we were stoked with that. Brilliant day for it.
And the kids?
Yeah.
Well, mate, you got plenty to celebrate tonight. 50 games and a Lochore Cup championship. Congratulations on a wonderful season.
Cool. Thanks, Pod. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, mate.
There he is, Andrew Stevens, and there is Luke Brownlee, and he's got his horde with him, and he's got a lion to boot. That's obviously is the mascot.
Yeah, it follows.
We're going to talk about how old you are in a couple of days, Phil?
I'm thinking it's the other side of 30. Yeah. Just under 40.
Closer to 30 or 40?
Very close to 40, put it that way, Richard, yeah.
Well, mate, I was just talking to Andrew, and
Yeah, that's very true, but, I only get it from these young guys, I see them digging deep, so it makes an old warhorse, just dig a bit deeper as well. And all I'm out there for is to keep the head settle, and don't care what we get. We could be down the bottom of the table. It doesn't worry me at all. It's the Buller jersey I come out to wear, and that's what I've done. And yeah.
Well, it's New Zealand's smallest union in terms of playing numbers, but clearly no shortage of heart.
No, definitely not. No, definitely not. Everyone out here today, even the supporters, dig deep. We had a few telegraphs and emails from some ex-players, and they said once a Buller player, always a Buller player, and that is really good. Really felt really good. So.
You can't leave without asking you the question. We're going to see you again next year defending that title.
They're fronting a pre-season trip to Aussie, so who knows what's on, eh? We'll see what happens.
Brilliant, mate. Look forward to seeing you next year then.
Thanks, Drew.
It's coming to a close here. Buller finally get that title after all these years. Our Lochore Cup champions, 31 points to 28. We'll be back after the break. So, a lovely afternoon in Westport here. Buller have won the title. The Lochore Cup champion, place to be on the coast for sure.
Absolutely, it will, Sumo. We're well known for the many fine establishments, I guess, we've got along the main street, and I'm sure that they'll be, packed to the brim tonight.
You know, just a word on the crowd today. You know, what a great bunch of people. They turned up here, they filled the green.
We're a fantastic support. I guess that we've, on a small community, that we've, they get behind you, and it's been, prominent this week, later in the week, and of course through the weekend, the shops really filled out their windows with
all night, I wouldn't imagine. One man who was a big part in the performance today was the right wing for Buller, Andrew Norton-Taylor, and he scored his try, and he's standing by with Pod.
Andrew, congratulations. Fitting into a wonderful season for Buller.
Yeah, we've had our ups and downs, but just missed out on that Meads Cup, but this is definitely the best next prize in the game. Just to loosen up a bit. It's final, but you can still run the ball and still have a bit of fun out there, and I think that showed in the second half. Threw the pill around a bit and things come our way and ended up getting up there.
Yeah, I mean, first was the kicking and some impressive players throughout the ranks, but you've experienced, and that's clearly important at finals footy.
Yeah, our forward pack's very experienced. Our number 7's played 150 games. One of our tight heads has played about 120, so yeah, good experience up front, which helped us a long way.
A few weeks away, or a few months away, so plenty of time to recover.
Yeah, that's still looking at February, so we got sort of 2 or 3 months to break down and just, yeah, chill out and savour the moment, I think.
Well, crowd today, how great to getting you guys home?
Yeah, it's just good having this home crowd. They've always showed up week in, week out. We've won every game, so I guess we're getting them to come back. Yeah, I hope we put a good game on there for them.
Duncan, just sum it up for us. What does this mean to the town?
Oh, it means a hell of a lot. We're the smallest union, and for us to be able to put a performance like that on the park in front of a huge crowd and a really loyal crowd, and hopefully a lot of...
Getting it done in a miracle on Ruatoria, 29-27. Canterbury, 5 straight titles, a new record for them. And today, Buller take the Lochore Cup. The national provincial season has come to a close. A very safe and happy summer. We'll see you for season 2013.